In the skyline of Provence, Mont Ventoux fascinates as much as it scares those who want to test themselves against it. Its steep slopes are the theater of an epic stage of the Tour de France, but also a challenge well known by amateur cyclists. Climbing Ventoux 3 times in one day on the 3 different roads to the summit. The so-called Défi des Sanglés, the Nutter's Challenge. 5 a.m. at the foot of the Giant of Provence. Marvin, a British cycling enthusiast, is getting ready to meet the challenge.
I have some honey waffles, which I adore. They're really very good. And several cereal bars. On a day like today, I'll use up between 4,000 and 5,000 calories.
His riding partner is a local lad. 67-year-old Jean-Michel runs a bike shop at the foot of Ventoux. He's a bit apprehensive.
You always have to give Ventoux the respect it deserves. You don't set off on Ventoux saying, I'm going for a nice bike ride with my pals today. Feeling good?
It's going to be a scorcher.
In all,
Kilometer 0. We head left.
8 hours of effort await the 2 cyclists. Very soon, the road starts to climb. The target, the summit of Mont Ventoux. Marvin and Jean-Michel are as happy as sandboys. They're on the road where the Tour passes.
You get a huge amount of pleasure later when you watch the Tour and can say, I've cycled that. It's the special thing about cycling. You have the right to play on the same pitch as the pros.
Champions and amateurs alike know it. Ventoux is a myth, a fearsome stage where exploits are mixed with tragedy.
I have to make a stop here at the Tom Simpson Memorial.
On the 1967 Tour de France, British cyclist Tom Simpson collapsed on the slopes of Ventoux, a victim of the heat and an early case of doping.
Il est affalé sur sa machine, incapable d'une réaction d'un geste. Alors on va l'étendre. À 19h, Monsieur Félix Lévitan annonce Tom Simpson, le champion du monde, est mort.
But Ventoux has also seen some memorable French victories, like Raymond Poulidor in 1965 and Bernard Thévenet in 72. A mythical climb of the Tour de France, which all amateur cyclists dream of completing one day. After climbing for 2.5 hours, Marvin and Jean-Michel reach the summit for the first time. But that's only the first third of their challenge, and they now face a giddying descent at more than 60 kilometers an hour back to the foot of the mountain. Just time for a short rest.
A bit of water, and then we attack Ventoux again.
And once again, the kilometers go by. They pass other cyclists in admiration of them.
I think they're great. I couldn't do it at my age. If I was 30 years younger, I'd attempt it, but not now.
It's almost 30 degrees Celsius, and the slope is very steep. It's taking its toll on Jean-Michel.
My legs are aching, it's hot. This is the part I feared. I'll feel better after this, but right now I'm finding it tough.
And the encouragements don't make much difference.
Keep going, guys! 1 more kilometer to the summit!
At the end of the second climb, Jean-Michel throws in the towel.
Listen, for me, it's my legs. I think they've had enough for today.
Disappointed?
Of course, you're always disappointed. When you fix a goal and you don't make it, you're always disappointed. I'm sorry to abandon Marvin at the top of the second climb, but he won't hold it against me.
Marvin sets off on the last 56 kilometers, the third and final climb of the Nutter's Challenge, the most difficult and mentally draining.
It's the head that keeps the legs going, because your legs keep asking, what the hell are you doing? It's a lot more fun with a pal, so I'm missing Jean-Michel a bit.
After 136 kilometers and almost 4,400 meters of climbing, Marvin has met the challenge.
How are you feeling?
Okay, tired. Of course, there's a certain amount of pleasure in stretching your limits, testing yourself, pushing, hurting. But you're always glad when it's over. We went from 15 to 30 degrees today.
That day, Marvin didn't set any records. His défi des sanglés was just a challenge between friends.
Did you do a sprint finish?
Not exactly a sprint.
Cheers, Marvin. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Just another of the little stories that make up the myth of the Provence giant.